Boom, we're back. Didn't even check if this is gonna work, but luckily sometimes things just work. Welcome back to another Games Full of Bugs development stream. Today, I don't even know where I left off, so I'm gonna, we're gonna be discovering that together. This is what I came to, so I'm imagining I was doing something with optimization. So let's see what's the last script that I had opened. Yeah, it was a muzzle flash manager, which I don't think... I think there actually everything might be in order. One thing that I was kind of thinking about... Oh, right! This was kind of calculated weirdly, so that's what I was fixing after the stream last time. Because the explosions... I was using the square magnitude... wait, do I want this to do now? I'm still doing it with a square magnitude here for some reason. Which I don't get why exactly. Square magnitude. Just want to do magnitude and then maybe times 2. Have to just check this. I was using square magnitude because I was squaring the distance at some other calculation, and essentially I just made a little bit of a mess because I copied just one part of it but not the one that multiplied the thing, so it was just working wrong. So okay. I still want to know why this is... It should not affect stuff that is too far away. Right? See how it's darkening these things? So it shouldn't affect those things. So I need to check it. Maybe this should just be this, This is essentially just checking what it should affect. So I'm imagining... Wait, how do I use it here though? Oops. Find me this thing. Flashable units, thank you. So muzzle. We take the light origin dot is normalized times intensity minus the distance. Like I'm sure... Okay, let's just see if this kind of fixed that part. Okay. Well, let's move you all the way to the back. Yeah, that just fixed it. It just seems like this part is a little light. Alright. Well, let's do this. Let's compare. Should eggs also be flashable? Yes, right? It's kind of weird that they're not. I guess walls should also be, but like those are kind of harder to be made than that. shrooms also light up. So let's do, okay, so that's fixed. So now let's do enemy eggs. No, egg. Big egg. Egg. I do have it as a flashable unit. Why don't you flash then? Well, because you're just using Sprite's Diffuse. But you should be using, well, something else. So let's do shrubbery. Why can't I open shrubbery? Like, is this a dead object? Shrubbery. You are using sprite container shrubbery material. What is a shrubbery material? It's just the same thing. Okay, so I just want to do shrubbery material for egg. Egg. Boom. I'll just do shrubbery. That should just work, I guess. Oops. Methinks. It definitely works. So now can I do player. Muzzle. I could just lower this part. Does this even do a thing? Yeah. It's like more than enough. Can do 2 and 5. Because like this should clearly be way stronger, right? Right, and how does it look if I give it a ton of repeat? I guess this is as much as I can give it. It just kind of shines more, which is good. Oh, it also increases the... Oh, right, it multiplies the intensity as well. So it should actually more so just increase the... How do you do that though? Maybe the intensity should always kind of stay the same, right? Just kind of save the highest intensity. So, okay. Let's go to the next room. So I save this setup. I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna go here where I create the muzzle. We would not combine the intensity. I would just kind of save the top one. So I would do equals math_av.max, and I would put in the flash stats dot intensity and intensity. Right. Maybe I can save this as a so now it shouldn't increase the radius, it should just increase the intensity. I mean, like the how strong it is. So intensity should really be AoE essentially, because I don't think it doesn't increase the power on it. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Okay. That's better. Right, and I need to reduce the thing on the player, so that was now still the same as before. Well, let's go to the gun container. You said 5 and 0.2. Nice. Okay, oops, boom. Let's see how you like them apples. I think that's good. Ugh. Yeah, the intensity does decrease, which is good. I guess the easiest way to kind of figure this thing out as well would be to just color the whole screen in shrubbery. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see it's not the best. I could definitely work a little bit on how the intensity also goes down with range. Oh, that's kind of cool. Right. bonk. It'd be nice if this would also kind of you know, show the same thing. It's just fun to look at this, you know. I'm just kind of watching. Sometimes I feel like it's not spreading towards the, you know, towards the north. I know it seems to be doing just fine now. Because in the past this definitely was an issue. But I guess that's all fixed now. Yeah, nice. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to check is if mortars do work well at this point. If they do have, you know, if they hit exactly what they should hit. Which should be an easy enough check. I'm just gonna put the mortar on position 1. Move you away. Bonk. And then basically what I can do is just disable you, and I can see that exactly. I don't know why these white lines are here. Yeah, the right things are definitely hit, so that's good. Huh. That's not okay. This shouldn't happen. Right, because tiles do not remove themselves. Okay, so that's definitely a lot of performance I can save. Get damaged, and then flash this sprite, that's okay. Destroy wall, change this tile to floor. What I also want to do here is do else we would do this unit manager. Remove damageable, this. It's not a damageable though. Tile. Oops. Is this a damageable? No. I'm looking for tile object. So where do I, on disable. Sure. Yeah, so this is not okay. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-bum. Create wall edge. Wait, I guess no. Generate level. Okay. List of floor tiles. I don't need you, but I do need list of wall tiles. But where do I add stuff to you? Create wall edge. Why are you doing this? I'm just looking for a list of wall tiles. Change tile to floor. Sure. Change tile to wall. Okay, so basically this is what I'm looking for. Just here. All right. So we do this. Now this we add tile.tile object. Right? Destroy wall. Just change tile to floor. So we also do remove here, right? Okay, so that should help removing all the floors from the damageables. So it should have to check a ton less stuff, like we're talking like a ton less. That's what we're talking. That should definitely help performance a little bit, because that's a lot of checks for every instance of damage. Okay, so let's, oops. Boom. Okay. So now we can place this here. Yeah, so just the walls are getting damaged. That's good. So now let's create a mod, something with a little bit more damage. There we go. That still seems like it hit the wall tile, no? The floor tile? Wait. Okay, I need to make it bigger. Let's give it a little bit of AoE. Boom. This is the shape. Okay. Why is it hitting random shit? Okay, maybe I need to give this one so it doesn't kill everything. And also let's give it even less damage. There you go. Yeah, this seems to be correct now. So now let's give it more AoE. Just cover the whole screen with this. Oh. Might have been a little much. Try that again. That's still a little bit much, eh? Alright. I'll just do this then. So now it has a lot less, okay? Was too late. Let's try to do it again. Okay. Yeah, that seems to hit everything in range. Yeah, okay, so this is good. So now I want to do the same thing with shockwaves, because those still work with colliders. And there's no reason to. So explosion new. Boop. And then we have this. Don't need you at all. Neither do I need you. That's good. Okay, so now we're gonna do shockwave. And we want to do the same thing when we initialize. How do I do here? initialize and explode. There's no reason why this is not exactly the beginning. Line with enum. I guess that does make sense-ish. And instead of this, we just do this. I mean, if we're doing that, we might as well do that before I do anything else. Size, circle size, and then faction, owner, enemy. Oh. So I think this should then work for shockwaves now as well. So let's check that, and then I can also remove colliders from shockwaves. Shockawawa. Still have the collider on, but I can remove that later. Now, explosion, no, muzzle. This is just kind of silly that I have this thing here when it just uses. What does it use? Just these two. This is all I need. Don't I? Flash intensity, modifier, and color. Which is a little silly, right? I could just be calling that directly, no? So, like on the explosion, right? Can just do this. I guess it can have different ones, but does it have different ones though? So I could just pass in the 18 to this position, and I guess muzzle color would be the only thing that's a little awkward. Which, I mean, it's an explosion base, so I can just have private color, muzzle color, right? Instead of this, essentially. Then I can just pass in the muzzle color instead of all of this, right? So then I don't even need to create the whole, like I don't need that object at all, right? Now what I could do is have this light on the muzzle flash thing. If I would choose to do so. So I would have the muzzle light, right? then I will just copy this, copy, paste. I can apply this to the explosion, and I don't need this. Now same goes for the sprite. Why do I need to have a separate object for you? Can't I just do this? Oh, because it's scaled down. Well, I can leave that, I guess. For now. This is what? Light 2D. Muzzle light. Right. So we would do boom. Flash stats dot position and muzzle light Layuturu. How do you just lower the intensity? Muzzle light dot intensity equals intensity. Can I, oh, right. Boom. Right, and then I do muzzle light dot game object dot set active true. I mean, I might as well have this thing always on, right? Can I just do this? Right? Tell me it isn't that easy. Don't even need you then. Mandatory crash because I didn't save. You know, Unity really needs a warning. You haven't saved for 2 seconds, so I might crash. What an annoying piece of shit. I really need to set up an autosaver. just save every second. Fuck's sake. Muzzle light's still here. So probably, yeah, we're pretty good. Good job, Unity. You didn't mess up too much. Okay. So what am I checking? The light? So how are we doing? We are here. I mean, what I also need to do is do a muzzle light dot inner point light, inner angle, inner radius. What is it? Inner radius. Equals we're gonna do intensity times 0.2 and then outer radius we're just gonna do times intensity. I think that kind of makes sense, right? I could also change the color to be the color of the flash. Flash! Ah. Boom! Unmonetized. Boom! Light that shit up. Okay. Sure. And that does seem to make sense, right? To light up this stuff. And it's only using one light, so it's really not even enabling and disabling it. So that's good. Now one thing I do want to kind of increase the amount of shit explosions gonna spawn. Kind of increase that to 400. 400. Okay. Let's see if we increase that a little bit. I could also control that like with the current frame rate. So if the current frame rate is below 30, just skip, you know? You know what I'm kind of thinking though? If I would do this every other frame and I would kind of hold the information about how many there are and then just place as many as you can. So if the amount of them is above 200, right? Just don't spawn that many, you know? You feel me? It would still wouldn't work for the clusters because at some point you run out of them, right? Maybe you should always be able to spawn half the capacity at any moment, right? So even if it happens again, there's still a chance that, you know. I'm imagining this is only in the explosion, yeah. So I need to animate it. Do I do anything else with it? I mean, I position stuff. I really want to have more medium ones because small ones are kind of non-existent now. But okay, this doesn't matter. Like what I need to do is, does this have an update? It doesn't. But like, isn't that a thing? Yeah. And then implement it. Oh, what did I do? Manage update. But then I also need the enable and disable, but that's fine. Like this is, where is the dust particle manager? I'm imagining it's on the additional managers, yeah, so this is fine. So we can do just want to do this, thank you very much. Alright, boom. We're gonna put this right at the top. Because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to destroy performance, but I also don't want to destroy the visuals. If you catch my drift. Let me just open the chat. Just in case somebody pops up. I don't want to miss you, okay? Okay. Let's see. So essentially, I would want to always spawn stuff on the next frame. Basically anything that kind of, yeah, so I need a list, animate frames on enable, explosions to spawn. No, this isn't the thing. I need this, right? I need a thing. I need to save these things. Can I save this data? I mean, I could have like a list of structs, right? I could also just have like a max amount of stuff that can be spawned. But like, I don't want to do that, right? I want to save all of them. And I could have like a crazy maximum where at that point it doesn't matter, like 1,000 of structs. or just a pre-generated class. Like I could have, let's say, let me just Google it a little bit so I can find some sort of a solution. Yeah, it seems that I should just do struct. So I would do public struct explosion data, right? Or something like that, like this. And then I would just do public vector to position. I would do public float size. You can do it like this. And then bool is electric. And then I would need to create I can create a list like list explosion data, and just so let's do explosion requests, right? Equals new, and then just set it like some sort of a size that should be stored well, potentially. And then when I do this, let's make a new one. So we'll do public void request explosion effect, right? And then we can drop in the vector to position. We can drop in the float size. Let's do it the same way as before, just so it's easier. And the bool is electric, right? And then here I would do but like, shouldn't I just do an array then? probably more efficient now. New explosion data array of size this many. And then we would use size. No, I would do, I also need the current, so I need int current explosion data. And this will equal to 0. And then we would do explosion requests, current explosion data, dot size. No, but this doesn't work because this is I need to make this a new explosion data, right? And we can then pass in position equals position, right? Size equals size. So let's make this like pause. Or do explosion size, explosion position, and is electric explosion. Right, so then I can do it properly like this. I do it like position. Size. Isn't that how you do that? What if I do? What if I just capitalize these? Right. Like that still won't fix the thing, but I just wanna see if, let's delete these two. So then we do size equals size. Oh, maybe I should do it like this. Yeah, oops, that's my bad. So position equals position, and then is electric. Equals is electric. There we go. What's the issue here? Oh, public. There we go. And then we do current explosion data plus plus, right? Right? I guess I need to do equals current explosion data plus 1. Then I need to do divide by explosion request dot length. Isn't that how it works? So if you have this, if we get to the same size, it's gonna be 0, right? And then just kind of circle around. If there's too many, just kind of cancel them, right? Current explosion data. This one. I think that kind of makes sense. Like we have 1,000 of them, right? That's enough, right? So then we do after, so on every update, I guess, I need my, don't I have my update here already? Oh, I do. So here, I would then go through all of the requests. So if current explosion data is more than 0, right? I guess we can just do for int I equals 0 till I is less than current explosion data. Oh, that doesn't work, does it? You know what? Let's do if current explosion data is more or equal explosion requests dot length. We're just gonna return so that I can just do this then. Oops. So then I do spawn explosion particles here, right? Now, here I decide on the budget, right? So we do, let's do public int explosion budget, just do private. Where's my update? If current explosion data is more than 0, or if it's 0, we return. There we go. And then we do explosion budget equals. Could I do like, 200? Or we could do current, like, could I, do some calculation to kind of handle this depending on the current frame rate? Well, let's do 400. Okay. There we go, boom. So explosion budget is 400. So then I need to, should this be a float? Bah. So we do float, no. Float explosion budget. So 400 should be the max. So if we're above that, how do you do that? What I could do, I guess, is... Okay, so let's see. If something is... I guess I need... Explosion budget is 1, right? So basically we add 1 every time, and it's just... This means everything is spawned, right? So can I do, okay, what if it's, let's say the budget is 200 explosions per frame, right? So if I have 400 of them, right, then I need to do just 200 divided 400, right? If I have 50 of them, that's fine, but we kind of, the minimum, I mean the maximum amount is 1, right? If I have 800, it's gonna be 0.25. So I just need to do that, right? So I need to do mathf dot min. What is less? Is less 1 or is less? So we need 200 divided by current. No. Divided by, yeah, current explosion data. Right. Boom. So then I do... I'm just trying to find the simplest way of going about this. I want to overcomplicate it. Like I could just add this. And then round it to int. I guess what I could do is this. So now if we have 800 of them, right, or 300 of them, this is going to be 1.5. So then what if I do this as a float, and then I add plus equals explosion budget, right? So we're going to do max instead, and then we're gonna do spawn explosion, we're gonna have current explosion data. We're gonna do current explosion data equals, oh, right, oops. Current explosion. What is this? Okay. Equals explosion requests. And then we pass in math. Can I just do this? Will that round it? So then I do spawn explosion particles, and I do current explosion. And just pass this in. Dot size. Dot spawn position. Position. And is. This should be an integer. There we go. So I don't need this, and I don't need this. And then we do current explosion data equals 0, right? Let's do this for now. And then here, instead of all of this crap, we would just do dust.manager.instance.request 0 is.transform.position and is electric. Here, same thing, I think. Oh, I could also send in the rotation, right? So this is quaternion. So we're gonna do also quaternion rotation. This here. So public quaternion rotation, and then when we request it, we're also going to do rotation equals rotation. There we go. And then we're also going to do explosion dot transform dot rotation equals dot rotation. I think this shouldn't look too bad. Back here, so here we do quaternion identity, same for you. Is it though? No, we pass in this behemoth. So in this case, I wouldn't need this whole thing. How do you do that? Like this? There we go. Boom, boom. This. Okay. I don't know why I don't always do it. Always want to do it, no? Like same for you. I don't know why I don't always do this. So like this, and then we also need to calculate the end position. Right. So, boom, boom. Don't need you, right? And then don't need this whole thing. What's your problem? This is your problem. Right? That's only here. I mean, let's see, right? So now in a single frame, there can be a maximum budget of 200 explosions, right? And I guess that's gonna get filled up still. I guess I could kind of make the budget even smaller for a single frame. Okay, let's see. Didn't spawn any of them. Can I get this back here? Hello, computer? Come on, okay, so hello, can this go back on that side? What the hell is happening? Can I lock it? Bottom. There we go. Okay, so it's not spawning them. Why not? I want to see if this works. Dagnabbit. Okay. This number seems to be staying at 0 at all times. Or am I crazy? Request explosion data. Well, yeah. Of course it's staying 0. Okay, that should fix it. Let's just check it. See if this works, at least for one explosion first. That worked for one. What about for a ton of them? Something is strange. Okay, so what's happening in the manager? Why isn't it clearing it? So which one? Right, oops. So what if I make my budget 100? So there's like 100. You know, let's make it 50. So 50 explosion effects is the maximum amount per frame. But I have the full budget of 400. So I should be able to handle 8 frames of maximum explosion budget usage, right? So, okay, let's close all of you down, so I don't have to find the thing always. Now, which thing is using so much? It's not using that much weight. No, this is just working really nicely. Okay, time for spicy shit. So this is repeat, swarm, all the repeat, all the swarm, all the clusters, and AoE. Okay, let's spawn a couple of them. So all the repeat, all the swarm, AoE, and all the clusters. Right? Did I get this right? Can you die? Thank you. Then we're gonna get ourselves the reload speed. Is this the same? Yep. So let's see how stressful of a situation this can handle then. Right? Let's start with 2 of them. Yeah, well, it starts to ignore them, right? Which is how it is. That's like directly in the problem. There was 0 performance hit. Okay, so now let's give it a little bit of a challenge. Let's spawn a bunch of these. I mean, a little bit, but like, you know, come on, man. It looks good. Like, it seems that the visual fidelity isn't being hurt too much. That seems to be working pretty well. Yeah, here when I have the editor open is a little worse. Here it just works nice. You know? pretty good. Oh. Well, boom, performance. Let's go to the next room, and I want to try one last thing. I'm wondering how bad is it if I even further reduce this budget to 25 per frame. So now I have twice as many frames of possible data, or of possible like max explosions, right? Like 25 explosion effects is a lot, right? But it might kind of start to show that it's, you know, it's lacking a little bit. But we can see. I was gonna try to shoot once. Now let's see if it can handle this thing. Where is it? This one. Yeah, this one is having issues too. Which makes sense, right? It's spawning a lot of shit. This is so many projectiles. And this is obviously the craziest this can be, right? So what if I just do, oops, just one of these. But let's give it a little bit of AoE. Let's do a couple of them. You might want to increase the budget back to 50. It seems to be okay. So what if I give them a little bit of... Can I give them split shot? I can. Where's this one? Good. A lot of explosions, and it doesn't seem to be having any issues. I mean, in terms of like visual fidelity, that's what I'm kind of trying to be mindful of now. Right? And if I do this, it still looks okay. Let's remove this item. And it's still spawning a couple of them, but it's not going too overboard, right? What is this, AoE? Sure. It just needs to spawn something there. Yeah, and when you kind of stop, it still spawns some shit, right? Having such little issues, I kind of want to even increase the thing. So go back to 50 and just increase how many there can be. I just go up to 800. because it seems that this is not an issue at all. It just, I can't spawn 20 billion of them, as I was doing before, but like this is perfectly fine, it seems. Another thing is, how long does the explosion effect need to disappear? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Explosion. We don't need this anymore. Now this is what I'm looking for. Kill delay is 2 seconds, which it does make sense because the start lifetime is 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. Okay, what if I go back to this idea where I just release it? And like, to be fair, I think 25 was 0 difference. But I want to see if this kind of bottlenecks it. So I still have a budget, right? But in crazy situations, just start releasing it. And I think that's where the problem could arrive though, so I might want to be mindful of this. Well, let's see. It's always spawning. Now, was there an issue performance-wise? Doesn't seem so. And this is like the max. This is like, there's not gonna be more than this many explosions, right? This, we're talking max here. Yeah, this is easily above 60 FPS in Unity. And the visual fidelity is essentially at the same level as it was before. Maybe this even wasn't like, I want to just see how, when I do request, if I just spawn the thing instead, right? So size, position is electric, and rotation right now. I do rotation after. So this explosion equals rotation. Not rotation equals rotation. And return here. So let's see, like, if there's a difference between one and the other approach. well, whatever it is, this seems to work really nicely, so let's just leave it up here as this. Any last things? Yeah, one final thing is I don't need this to be so big. Like, there's never gonna be a time where I spawn more than 1,000 explosions in a frame. There's just no way, right? Okay, mandatory Unity crash. Let's just do a reset real quick. Like, this was, let's say I have a let's say I have a mortar with, you know, 30 swarm, which has happened before. And that has, let's say we have 16 how do you call it? Frickin' 16 cluster mortar. So that would be 17, let's say. That's still like 500. So that's just insane craziness. So let's just do 512, right? Wait, does that make sense? Is that a... yeah. That's like more than enough, right? And then the array needs to be a lot smaller. So let's check again. If the thing looks nice and performant, and then we can move on. Okay. Now what I want to check if shockwaves work, right? Not you. Boom. Because that's not something I've checked yet. Let's do you. Boom. It's definitely too small. So let's fix it before I mess that part up. Explosion, shockwave. So, what did I call the thing? Did I do this already? I think I did, yes. Boom. So circle size. I need to do this times 2. You know. Although this is using circle size, so that should be correct. Circle size. Range. I'm doing it by half here. That's probably the problem. So it needs to just do range. Wait, what is this? Distance. So explosion size and a size by 0.5. So that should now work for explosions and shockwaves. Because shockwaves seem to have the right size. Wait, do they though? Things might be different now. Shockwave. Do I have the thing? The thing? Here. No. Yeah, let's just see if it works. Wait, how does this work though? Is this also with the times 0.5? Okay. So then let's go here again. Maybe this is okay then, since I'm using the same kind of calculation. Is it different? And I use this in 2 places, so there's no, like, I can just do this. But I need to check if the bullets do get destroyed in a big enough range. Wait, the explosion uses... Oops. This is not gonna work now. Explosion just uses the size, and size might have been calculated a little bit different. The size just does the same thing. Well, I don't know. The important thing is that it works. Let's go to some normal... nope. You know what? Yeah. Oh. Nope. We can do this. We're gonna give it AoE. We can spawn a couple of these. Nope. And a couple of these. We can equip this here. Let's, I guess, start with these and then equip a couple of these. Well, who knows? The difference between this size and this size is a little bit nuts though. Let's check the... Not something else I want to spawn. I want to spawn... Oops. This dealing no damage at all. Spawn another one. I think I should do that. Oh, right. Well, then I'll just have these here as well. Okay. Yeah. seems like the shockwaves are just inherently a lot bigger. Look at the size of this, right? And then compare this to an explosion that's supposed to be the same, right? And it's just really small. So that kind of makes me wonder, should I increase the, like, what kind of an area the mortars cover, right? You know what? I can check this with the frickin' clear the room a little bit. And then we can spawn this guy. You know, this one is gonna be really important to work like it should. Seems to be outside of range, actually. Explosions seem to have a problem with not a... Yeah, no. Something wrong. Yeah, I need it to be a lot closer. So explosions are just too small depending on what they're supposed to be. Now why is that? So explosion, I send in the AoE and extra AoE, which determines the size. Then I do, okay, this is just an item stuff. This doesn't matter. And I just explode, and I use the damage and range depending on the size. And then I do local scale, again, variance depending on the size. So with the shockwave, I create, where is it? Initialize damage stats. So circle size equals damage stats AoE times extra AoE, which is the same as here, right? AoE times extra AoE, okay? And then I do some item stuff, which is fine. And then I spawn the thing using the circle size times 2. But this is just speed. This does not matter. And then how many, okay, this is also irrelevant. Now the size here is being calculated. What is the size for? For the line renderer scale. Okay, that's probably fine. I'm still using the circle size though. And then line width. That's probably fine again. Yeah, so damage and range times 2. So yeah, so essentially that one would also need this, right? So this is just wrong, and this should in fact just cover the whole thing. And then probably there's going to be the same issue with with this thing. So yeah, I'm using the circle size. So this should probably also just use the whole range. So let's check this thing out. We get shockwaves and the mortar should essentially damage the same kind of range of stuff. Oh, sorry man, Jesus, you know, I have chat opened at the side, but it got covered. How did you make those yellow flashes on the character and environment when shooting? Thanks so much, man. So, essentially, it's a shader. So, this is the thing that you're talking about, right? So essentially, all of these objects that I want to shine have a material which looks like this, I think. No. Is it this one? It's probably this one because it's so freaking big. So what this has, now this is probably not made in the best way, but you can see it here, right? It essentially, I have this muzzle flash, which is a boolean, so this just kind of turns it on and off. Then I have the muzzle direction, and which is essentially just, you know, from which side it should flash them. And then what this is really similar to what this is. Now what this is an outline thing. So this just creates an outline, right? So it offsets the texture in all the directions by 1 pixel, and then it combines them, and then I just pass this as an alpha, and somewhere I also add the color of the outline. I don't know where, but you know, you get the, there you go. Is it this one? Outline, color. It's here, where it multiplies the... because it goes back to, the alpha goes here, and then here it's just, because this is the full image, it uses this as an alpha. This just, first it goes to subtract the base alpha, so I get the outline, and then I multiply it with the outline color. It doesn't matter, like, you're not here for the outline. Essentially it works really similar, but here I offset the component in the opposite direction, so I don't offset it away from the character, I offset it inside, right? So depending on the direction. And then I subtract from the base alpha, and I get a, you know, just like an inline, right? I get an inline from a single direction. Now I can increase the amount of, with the, where is it? Multiply? Oh, just with the muzzle direction. Yeah, so with the muzzle direction, I can also have, you know, a length of 2 or a 3, so it can make this. Wait, can I do this? Yeah, see, I can do this 2 or 3 or 4, right? So it kind of, it can make it wider, right? And it essentially, first it clamps it. So when I set this, I always make it a round number, or not a round number, just I don't use decimal. I make it an integer, so it always moves by pixels. And then I color it with the muzzle color, and then I multiply it with the base color, and then, you know, that gets added on top of it, so it kind of nicely flashes. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's see if the explosions damage correctly. Oh, that's way too big. Huh, is it though? It's just the effect way too small. So this is this big. Now how's this thing? Same size. So yeah, just the explosion effect is way too small essentially. Looks good for the big one, right? I mean, it's still really big. And let me be. Yeah, this is really big. But that's how it's supposed to be, like they're just too small by default. So should I just do... I could have checked that while in the game. So let me try that again. Okay, so explosion base. So this should be like that, essentially. Should it be 0.5? No, that's too big. 35, let's say. No, but it is bigger. Look at this. It actually is 0.5. But why aren't these things getting damaged then? But yeah, this is how big the explosion is. I could still make it a little bit smaller, just so it's not so abruptly huge, right? But yeah, I definitely need to change that because it's not explosion base. Okay, let's go here then. Okay, learn to type, idiot. So let's do 4, 5. And then that means that this one, let's make it 0.4. Same thing, like it should be the same thing. But that means that the explosion effects are just bad. Explosion new. So this needs to happen a lot faster. And then the amount of them, we can kind of increase the size here, right? It's not that big of a deal then. We can definitely cap this, this is still okay. I just need to make the end position be further out. Right, I also clamped this, right? So this is using the minimum, so it's at least 6. Am I getting that correct? So size times random range and size divided by 5. What the shit is this, brother? So it's either size, no, it's size times something, and then I multiply it again with, I clamped the size between 0 and 1.5. What? So if a size is 3, this is gonna be like between 1 and 1.5 times, like, what the shit is this? And I guess at best 1.5 here, so that's like 2. And I guess 6 is the maximum. So yeah, okay, so this is just 6 is the cap. That's probably fine. But I need to increase this thing, right? But why do I have this? Make it make sense. What is all this crap? Why do I need this? This is like between 0. Sure thing, man. Well, the thing is, it needs to be bigger. So if I just increase this thing, that should kind of multiply the thing already. No, I don't know exactly. Like, I'm sure there's a reason I was doing all of this crap. Well, one thing that I can do is I can multiply by 0.2, which is faster. Like if I just do a bigger number here. So like this and this. Basically this end position is what makes it a little strange. So I need to make sure that this one makes sense. Okay. I mean, well, the sizing makes sense. It's a little big now, like the base thing in the middle. So maybe I do want to make it smaller. Let's put this at 3, and this one at maybe 3.5, right? Because it covers the whole thing, right? It doesn't have to do that. I think this looks okay. I kind of have a feel like that could still be smaller, but who knows. That's pretty funny. How does it go? Wait, it should still hit stuff, no? Huh. That is a little strange. It should still hit stuff. What if I lower it by half? Okay, 45. That's how that works. If I put it away. Am I at the edge? I might be at the edge. Okay, never mind. So... yeah, it's this. So these also hit. Right, if I do this, this still hits. Yeah, it still hits. Yeah. I think this works. Sure. Oh. Yeah. Was this here before? UI update. Really? Magazine UI dot update. Oh. That's actually when I opened the thing. Okay. That's okay. Why is physics being here? Holy prime queen, brother! So you have what? Game object activate and deactivate. Is this again from the... What if I restart? Is it still gonna perform as badly? Like this worked way better just a couple of freaking seconds ago, I think. Okay, what if I go back to... Where is the thing? You know? Still has high performance spikes or issues, and this is still what? And there's still a lot of this. Would be nice to know, like, what is this? Ah, frames on enable. Yeah. Because this is a tween thing, no? It's an enumerator. Well, like, how else are you gonna supposed to do that, right? Are you supposed to do that? Screw it. I'll just leave it like this. The performance with the explosions is definitely better. Just because I manage how much stuff is spawned. So if nothing else, that helps it immensely. It's no longer trying to spawn. Like, how much did I say? Like, at best, you would spawn 500 explosions in one frame, so that's just, it's not gonna do that anymore. Also, holy performance issue. Holy shit. Wait a second. Where was it? Here. This might also, yeah, it's creating them in the first frame also, right? So that's one of the issues. Somehow it seems like it has less of an issue doing this. Is the problem maybe that I'm Give me a bullet. With a shit ton of damage. That's enough to kill a wall. Bonk. And this could also be something that's could be managed, like, do I need these many? You know, and these are also separate objects, right? Which I do want to leave them like that because I think they look really good. It's not the same as with leaves. Although, wouldn't it be the same? Wouldn't it just look the same-ish? Like, close enough at least? Yeah, because this is spawning a ton of effects with so many explosions, so that might be what the real issue is, right? So when a tile object is hit, so get damaged, and then I have this thing, the dash dust, yeah. Do I have maximum amount of these assholes? Get component, dash dust, dash, or dash dust. What if it gets killed? What damn? If health is less or equals 0. Oh well, I'll spawn this shit even if I just hit it. So why doesn't that show? What spawns that then? Maybe the actual damage that's being dealt? Dash dust. Get component, shockwave, dash dust. Huh? It's a shockwave? What? Am I insane? Wait. Check it out. Check it out now. A punk soul brother. Where's my dash dust? I did the dash dust. Dash dust. 100. So default size, and I don't have a max size. Sure. And what is this thing then? Has a duration of 2 seconds. And it has a duration of 0 seconds, if I'm honest. If I'm being totally honest. It doesn't have much duration. So how is this get released though? How does this get released? Does this ever get released is the question. Is it not? Wait, how does this get released? That's just... Check me my dash dust pool. Ah, la 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 la. Hello. No wonder the game is slower and slower. Look how many objects I'm creating and not reusing. Hello. Am I insane? Delay, pullable object release delay, and we want to have, I guess, like start lifetime is 1 second max, so we want to do delay of 1 second, and then you can do pullable object release delay. You know, you don't need to do shit. What am I calling this shit? Game object. No, just don't get component. Just get object. What the shit? Who wrote this game? Stop it. Get some help. Real freaking quick, man. Player. Spaghetti Maretti. This is how I approach game design, game production. Just full on spaghetti. How is this shit working? Holy crap. Nice pooling behavior when you just reuse, when you don't reuse the objects. Have to check every pool if I even do this. Holy. So I can definitely kind of limit the amount of them. Like I don't need so many. If half the screen gets cleared, well, you just don't need that many, right? So what happens if you go above max? I don't even know. Dust, max size, like 20. You know, you feel me? Do you need more than 20? Maybe 20 is a little, not that much, but like, what shit? Sure, just give me dash dust. Hello? Now give me that bullet. Big old destructive boy. Wait, can I just do... Don't I have the item that I can just give myself? Boom. Okay, I need to have a fresh wall here. So this doesn't spawn dash dust, it spawns something else. But what do you spawn, you little shit? So what is this? What is this? Tell it to me straight, give it to me. A dust particle. And this one is pooled. Now what if I max this one out? How many is this? this is... Doesn't it show how many have selected somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, this doesn't do shit if you max it. It still spawns all of them. So you don't want to have max size. But I could make it so now these can go into way higher numbers, right? If you need them, right? Wait, does this spawn the dust particles as well? Boom. Doesn't spawn shit. It only spawns stuff if you destroy the thing. Okay, move this away. Get it away, get it away, get it away now. Give me all the bullet types. Oh, haven't had enough of these. Oh, okay. Boom. Okay. Let's shoot all of them. Apparently I have to check every pool. Look at how many of them. Holy. Definitely call how many of these things are getting spawned. Like if there's too many of them, I could essentially control all of them the same way I did with explosions now. I'm just kind of like, do we need that many? Probably not. You feel me? Oh! Right, these are getting replaced. Right? Yeah, I had way more than this. Enemy dead, that makes sense. But this is one of these I don't need now because I don't use these anymore. I'm using this. That's okay. Alright. This look is good and it seems performant. Like at some point when you have 20 billion effects, you just don't need to spawn that many. Right. Okay. Well, the important thing is the explosions and shockwaves damage stuff that they should damage. So we're gonna do fixed the issue that made explosions hit made explosions have way shorter range than they should have. Okay, so I can check the big enemy if it works now. So let's just do that real quick so I know that these things are taken care of. Okay. Boom. So let's spawn you. I want to be right at the edge. Okay, this did hit me. So what if I'm right outside of the edge? We were still a little dumb. Let's try to add another. Ah! I had the perfect chance. Let's try to do it again. That's not good. That's a little bit too much. No, that shouldn't hit. Okay, let's spawn you. Yeah, that shouldn't hit. Wondering where to which kind of range, to what kind of range does it hit? Okay, let's just kill and spawn another one. It doesn't hit there. Okay. So I guess it's just a little bit bigger. Yeah, that was fine to be hit. Oops. Oh, that shouldn't hit. Holy. Okay, we'll just stay in this kind of range from him. Okay, so that hits. Just the danger AoE should just be made bigger, you know, that's the only thing. So, okay. Okay. I said it seems to just be a little bit bigger. So, what are you? Boomba. No, Bomba. Bomb. Okay. I guess I don't know what it's called. Fire. Boom, boom. Okay, makes sense. So danger AoE. At 1 point, no, size. So we just do times 1 point, or just plus 0.5. Wait, this is danger AoE. It is size. Is 1 too much? It might be. Let's do 7.5 and see if this looks correct. Because this is something that really shouldn't, like, if you're standing on the edge of the AoE, it's better if it doesn't hit you, because people are gonna be pissed off if it hits you and you know, you're just outside the range. It's gonna be really annoying. So it's better to have the danger AoE be a lot bigger than, you know, whatever I'm doing now. So spawn you. Hello. It still hits. Okay, let's do 2. I'll just kind of let's go a little crazy with it. Okay, that felt good. Let's see how close do we need to be? That's fair, that's still fair, right? Getting hit there is perfectly reasonable. That shouldn't hit still. That's way too close. Yeah, no, that shouldn't hit. So let's do +3. Like I said, it should be bigger than what it hits. Because otherwise it's just gonna be messy. Oh, come on. Now let's just see if we're in range, if that's problematic. Might be a little awkward, a little too much, a little too oof for my taste. Okay, so how much inside of the range should I be? I mean, you know, this might not be too bad, and then you have more close call situations. Let's do it from the top. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you know, that's good. So let's try to do another one from the bottom. That feels fine. And that hits, right? That's good. That feels really good, actually. And that obviously hit, which makes sense. Can you move away from these walls, please? Okay. yeah, you know, you kind of just run out. This seems to be good. Okay. So I'm kind of standing inside of the range, but that's good, right? That's how games should handle this type of things. And there I get hit. That feels good. So then I do, let's try this one. That hits me, which could make sense, but also maybe not. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be really much further away from that. Just needs to have it a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna start from the beginning, just so I don't have to go through all this crap again. Actually, I need to check the final... Oh! Huh! There's a bunch of crap that I'm gonna have issues with, like all of the mortar bugs as well. But yeah, I don't have any of the problematic ones in this biome, so let's just abandon run. And let's go to first to the fire biome, so I can check, well, both of the mini bosses. Thank you. Much obliged. Go. Don't even have the thing unlocked. Okay. So let's just, I guess let's just go to the boss, because we need to finish the thing either way. So it's the stump one. This one does have mortars, so I need to make sure that they make sense, danger AoE wise. Could be a little bit bigger, maybe. It doesn't feel too bad. What about this guy? Okay. Yeah, so all of these could essentially use a little bit of a bigger, so mortar enemy. So we just make these bigger, so this should fix all of the mortar shooting enemies, because they all spawn the same sized mortars. Okay. Let's spawn you because you have the same behavior. Okay, that seems good. That seems good. Great. So I actually just need the final boss from the shell biome, because that's the one that is gonna be causing issues. Nope. Also don't have anything unlocked. Okay. Let's do that then. Because that one has a shockwave, I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure that that works properly. Finish this real quick. Boom. So many males again. Fallen of Romance, no, probably not this one. Indiacs, officially open, sure. I have to check if that's anything that's worthy. Or that it's something that, I mean, if it makes sense for the game, I guess. Okay. Next room. Okay, so now we can test it. No, this one. Okay. Did this work? Okay, the mortars are definitely fine. The shock shockwave though doesn't seem... Yeah, this seems to be too big. So let's do King Crab. Biome 3 boss. Danger. No. What is the attack 2 though? Where's the shockwave? No? Oh, oops. This is Biome 2 boss. So, danger, AoE, this is ground slam. Okay, and then the size of this. So what if I just do 10 instead? Ground slam attack, it spawns a shockwave of size 9. So yeah, I just increase it by 1. Like I could just change how the danger AoE works. But I guess it is in that range, it's just have to make sure that I spawn bigger ones. So just stay here. Okay. And it's just a little bit smaller, which is good. Ah. Okay. Basically, I don't want you to get hit. If it really didn't seem like you would. Yeah, so there you get hit. Okay, so yeah, the danger AoE makes sense, it just should be a little bit bigger. I can also write that into the change log. So, danger AoE for enemy mortars and similar attacks have been increased in size a bit. So you really know when you are out of danger. Okay. So that's done. Now I need to add this muzzle light to all of the scenes before I forget. Now to all the scenes that have it. There we go. Main, we have it, main menu. We don't have it. Transition scene, we definitely have it here. Boom. Tutorial, we definitely have it here. Tutorial old, unlock scene. That's nothing that's being used with that thing. Okay. Muzzle, flash, all flashes are now handled by a single entity without physics checks which will increase performance greatly when a lot of flash spawning effects are happening, like explosions. Okay, have that handled. Good. So what's next on the to-do list? Starting setup split. That's still the big thing. Item game for bosses should be good. Okay, so this is still something that I just have to finish up. This works. Checking tutorial. I need to check this. Yes. This is part of that. Wind does not work on enemy bullets. That's also something I just need to check. Add more bug build. Okay. So yeah, we still need to do this and just fix the item gaining, because now it doesn't have any sounds. So that just kind of needs to be finished up. The thing is, I would love to start working on that right now, but the problem is I have so much bureaucratic crap to do today that I just want to get on that as soon as I can, because on Wednesday I'm going to go on a small little vacation, so just have to get all of that handled before that. So I'm gonna try to do as much as I can today, and obviously I'm gonna do that off stream. So I'm gonna finish it here. I'm really happy with where this is going. I think the performance is gonna be improved a lot. I still can do a lot more. So wait, I can go here and I can do on hit dust particles, and similar things should also be handled by a manager like the one that handles explosion effects, so you can limit the amount of them in stressful situations. There you go. Okay. So yeah, really glad you could join today or watch later. All of those things are really appreciated. And yeah, otherwise there's nothing much to say. I'm gonna do another stream tomorrow, and then on Wednesday I'll see how it goes, because I don't know exactly when I'm gonna go. I might do a short little stream like today, but otherwise I'm gonna then return the week after on Monday. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming in, and if you like the game you can wishlist it on Steam, but otherwise hope to see you next time, and yeah, have a good day. Cheers.